Hi everyone. So there has been a pretty big bandwidth apparently, and I went to check it out, and it looks quite interesting. So I don't think anyone had really a lot of hope for bandwaves at this point, and we actually got one. I can't tell exactly, how many people got nuked, but if you look at the group leaderboards, especially, you can see that it was pretty much a massacre. So there, there are really interesting leaderboards right now. For example, the Freeman especially looks very funny, where almost every clear has its own rank. And I mean, there might be some overlap between teams using the same people and so on. But yeah, overall, you can see that a lot of people are gone. Foreman the same. I guess mostly the DPS players. Actually, a lot of Crusaders got hammered as well, which is quite interesting. And yeah, also on the solo leaderboards, you can see that I don't know exactly where I was, but I definitely rose a few ranks pretty much everywhere. We have this year, like everyone there's gone for my multi-shot is 130, rank 4. This is really funny, but I'm not sure how many there were. But also here, yeah, I don't know, but it's really interesting. But just in general, I think that this is a pretty good sign. It's just a little bit late, I would say. So the season is ending tomorrow, actually, and I think the bans have to happen earlier than this. I mean, it's nice to get rid of these guys either way, but most of the time, I think it would be better to have actual 2 ban waves instead of only 1, because like this, people they care about getting their clear done, and then eventually they might quit anyway. And then it doesn't really matter if they get removed, because at this point in the season, almost no one really looks at leaderboards besides some people that really try to go until the last day and have like a certain goal in mind. I guess it definitely is nice for especially certain people that want to go like top 100 is their goal, and they're like just barely not getting it, and they know that okay, this is because of some borders being above them. So yeah, I guess it helps. But yeah, overall, I think that botting has to be punished a bit more, not just for the sake of the free and the community, but also with regards to what we'll see in Diablo 4 later on. I think that having this reputation and this history of endless botting, ban waves, whatever. And in many seasons we actually had like no ban waves, or a lot of people dodged those ban waves. And this is a problem when it's cheating, when you can get away with cheating so easily, I'd say. So this is something that is probably necessary to keep in check to make any kind of competition in Diablo 4 or even Diablo 2 Remastered trustworthy. Diablo 2 is like super infested anyway with almost entirely bots. And then yeah, Diablo 3 has a big problem because of the leaderboards. And if there's anything like this in Diablo 4 as well, then this is bad news. So, I mean, of course, at the start of the game, there will not really be much going on because, people have to actually develop all these tools. But yeah, later on, this is, a genre where automation is very common. And yeah, maybe they can kind of break the cycle there, maybe. I mean, who knows? We'll see when the time comes. But overall, I'd say this is a good move. Finally, we see something. I didn't really have any hope for this. And even though I quit the season already, that's quite nice to see that they're actually doing something. It seems to be like targeted or manual bans, because apparently this was kind of like an ongoing process as it started. People were disappearing one by one. And yeah, maybe they do like targeted bans in that way. They didn't obviously get everything. Apparently the account shares are still here, so even the obvious cases are not really getting touched. But I mean, okay, this is a very rare phenomenon anyway. So yeah, this is where it's at. I just thought that this might be interesting, and definitely for me this was really good news, and we'll see how it continues in the future. I just hope that we see a little bit more often those bans happening, especially we could need one like earlier in the season as well. So for example, like 2 or 3 weeks in, when they have like these this like initial rush is kind of like fading out, and people are doing like the first pushes and so on. This is when the time starts for the borders to really get an advantage. Those people that really like to try and they take like a week off of holidays or so, they can blast 1 week straight or so, but this is kind of like the point where they will fall behind to someone who gets like another 8 hours in every night. And this is also like these early season rankings actually matter for a lot of people. So I think that having 2 ban waves, one like 2-3 weeks in and one like 2 weeks before the end, or 1 week before the end, is probably the best way to clean up and also to disencourage bottlers, because if they get banned too early and there's only one ban wave, then they're just gonna start over. And if they get banned too late, then it's usually at a point where most people don't really notice it anymore, or don't even care anymore, and so on. For example, now this is literally 1 day before season end, and while it's nice, I think this needs to happen at a little bit of another point, But yeah, this is just my 2 cents here. So I don't know, just some info and some news that I thought was worth sharing. So hope you like this, and see you guys next time.